This conference will now be recorded.
We finished discussing about a couple of controls in the VOV8. So today, let's go ahead and finish other controls. So these fields, whatever we left yesterday, let us get a new server and then I could show you, because there is some node to be applicable to fix that error, and the server guy is working on that. So once it's done, we could check the call in the system. So what I'll do is I'll leave these fields which we need to check in the system, and probably once the new server is up, I could show you all these things. Okay. So we'll just go ahead with the fields which we don't need this particular functionalities. Okay. So this is the messages yesterday. What we have seen that these messages will tell system whether any preceding transaction is required or not. That means whenever you are creating a sales order, do you want system to check any open quotation is pending for this customer, or any open outline agreement is pending for this customer, or any contract is pending for this customer. So if you want to check whether any preceding document is existing for this customer when you're creating a sales order. So these all messages are for the same purpose, to check if there any preceding document is existing. Alternative document type 1 and type 2. So we are leaving these two fields, status profile and variant. These two will see it in the system later. So alternative document type 1 and type 2. So what is this alternative document type 1 and type 2? Let's say for dealers, you have a order type, let's say OR. At the same time, for government customers, you are using ZOR. And ZOR, you have customized for government customers so that it should not calculate credit, and it should have a commitment date so that no one can cancel that order, right? So such a way you have configured the government customer order, that is ZOR. But OR is for dealer, where system performs credit and everything. But what if user creates order for dealer customers? If they create with a ZOR, what happens? Anyone? If dealer creates an order with a ZOR, so system will not check credit, right? That's how we configured it. So in that case, what happens? What is the next step? If your user realizes this error has happened, then what is the next step? Just we need to cancel that particular order and create a new order. Right? We need to create a new order. This is all time waste, right? So canceling and creating a new order, that's all waste of time. So what if we can just switch between or swap the document, the data in the document, if we can just swap. So that is possible through this particular alternate document type 1 and type 2. I'll just show you how this works. VA01, if I'm creating an order. So here, just observe this area. So here system is not showing, right, like what document you are creating. Okay, in the first screen we are entering OR, and we know that this order is being created with OR. But nowhere here system shows that you are creating an order with OR, right? So I'll go back, and what I'll do is I'll create one I'll copy this and create one document type. I'll copy this and I'll give this name as 80. I'll just give some random name, and I'll say that this is a alternative doc 1. Okay, 80 is already existing. Maybe I'll put it as 81. So just keep pressing enter until you reach the final screen. Let's copy it, save it. So 81, a new document type has been created in the system. So whenever you say a screen like enter from the allowed space, it's just a warning message. Just like now what it has appeared for me as well. What you could do is just keep pressing enter until you reach the final screen. Doesn't matter it is 2 times, 3 times or 4 times. Keep pressing enter until you reach the last screen. Okay. So it's saved, right? 81. This is what we created now. So now what I'll do is I'll go to OR and in this alternative document type, I'll mention is 81. Save it and let us create an order. Now you see here, system shows with which document type you are creating. You are creating with document type OR, but you have an option here to switch between the another document type, alternative document type 1. So you don't need to cancel the already created document. You can just switch between the documents using alternative document type 1 and type 2. Okay, so that it will save the user's time. At the same time, you could just switch between the documents. How it is possible? That is through alternative document type 1 and type 2. But when this is possible only when both the documents should have the same SD document category. Okay, both the documents should have the same SD category. And the number ranges also should be the same for both the document types. Okay, for both the document types, the number ranges should be same and SD document category should be same. Then only it is possible to switch between the documents. So that is alternative document type 1 and type 2. Status profile also we'll discuss because anyway I'll share one recording video for this execution part. So you can go through the video. I'll just tell you what is status profile. The status profile is a order release mechanism. Who creates quotation?
End user.
End user. So when a user creates a quotation, can we just send it like that to the customer? Or do we need approval
No,
of
no.
any senior person?
We need approvals.
Right? We need some approval, right? Because so we need to check what is the price we have mentioned, what is the delivery date we have mentioned, what terms and conditions we have given. So we cannot allow the user directly create and send it to the customer because some authorized person, because see, quotation is a commitment. The price you mentioned there, the delivery date you mentioned there, the terms and conditions you mentioned there, that is a commitment what you are giving to the customer. Later you cannot say no, this is I cannot offer this, right? So if you create a quotation, there should be some approval by some senior manager or someone who can check everything and then release it. Or else you are creating a sales order, and even sales order also you need an approval because in the business, let's say newly launched material and the material you can offer is only 100 quantity per customer. What if any customer, what if user creates an order for 200 quantity, right? So there should be some approval or else, see, this particular status profile is not only at the order level, we can also do this status profile at the item level as well. Let's say you are creating an item which is a dangerous goods. Okay, it might be an explosive or it might be a chemical. Okay, it's a dangerous goods. So there should be some approval before you process that particular item. There should be some approval. It's not that a user can create the order for a dangerous goods and just release it, right? So status profile is a order release mechanism where you can assign authorizations, okay, various authorizations, level 1, level 2, level 3 kind of authorizations. Always it will be 3 authorizations by default. The first one is user who creates an order. User can create only an order, he cannot change it. The second level can approve it. See, second level can only approve it, and third level, the highest level, can either further approve it or cancel it. The third level can do anything. That means the highest level can do anything. That is, they can either approve further or else they can decline that particular order as well. But second user has to approve it so that it can go to the third user, right? So how this order mechanism works, that is through status profile. So status profile is an order release mechanism which will help us to authorize the transactions. So for this, I'll upload one recorded video. There is already a recorded video on the status profile. So just go through this video I'll upload and you'll be knowing how the status profile functions. But why I'm very specific on status profile? The reason is in the resume, you have to mention this. How do you differentiate from others? So how do you differentiate from others? This is the way you will differentiate it. That is, it's not just mentioning about you worked on maybe custom master item category, not like this. Just excuse me one. Sorry. So why specifically I'm mentioning about status profile? Because you should have this in your resume. How do you differentiate from others? Because other concepts, everyone mentions these concepts, right? But how do we differentiate with this? Hardly 1 out of 10 profiles will have this. Very hardly 10 out of 1 profile will have the status profile variant. These things will be mentioned. That is how you will get shortlisted more. Okay. So just go through that state. How do we put that status profile? So where is that menu path for status profile? Configuration under SPR. Sorry. So it is an integration actually. Status profile is integration with workflow, because here we need to create PFCG authorizations. So that will be done by security consultants. We also have a step-by-step documentation for this particular status profile. So SPRO and IMG, go to sales and distribution. Under this sales, go to sales. Under sales documents, you said define and assign status profile. So here where actually the status profile, everything will be configured, right? So coming back to VOV8. Then next is variant. See, variant, this is called as screen variant or transaction variant. There is a concept called as variant configuration in SD module. There is a concept called as variant configuration. That is different actually. That is very advanced. That is very advanced concept. Variant configuration. That's a different concept actually. Okay, but this concept is variant, just screen variant, or we call it as transaction variant. Okay, we call this as screen variant or transaction variant. So how do we configure the screen variant or transaction variant? The T code is SHD0. One moment, it's not opening. Yeah, the T code is SHD0. Okay. In the document folder, we also have a document for this particular SHD0. You could check on the document. There are some 14 bullet points on this SHD0. So what is this variant? What is this screen variant or transaction variant? So sales order screen. You see the sales order screen. In this sales order screen, are we using these two fields anytime? Anyone? Are we using these two fields? That is sales office and sales group.
These two are not mandatory.
But we are not using them. See, when we are not using these two fields, why we need to have this here? It is a confusion for the user, right? User may think that I need to enter all these fields. Or once you get into sales order, you see lots of fields actually. So do really user need to enter all the fields? Not really, right? So why you should have these unwanted fields? So user would be more confused by seeing these fields, right? So you could control with the screen variant what fields to be there, what fields not to be there, what tabs to be there, what tabs not to be there. Everything you can control. That is through SHD0. So you have to mention even this in the resume. Worked on screen variant. Screen variant or transaction variant. Transaction variant means with which T code you want to access it. Screen variant means just click on create. Okay, enter the T code. So VS01 screen variant and create. Click on create. You see the screen. How we reached the screen? Anyone? Is it through VS01? How did we land it into the screen? Through SHD0, not through VS01. Through SHD0. So now if I again press enter, even without giving all these details, if I press enter, this will take us to the program. We don't need to enter these things actually. You see, it takes us to the program. And here you can control and tell system what fields to be there, what fields not to be there. You see here we have an option required, invisible, right? Output only, just like what we discussed at the customer master account groups. Whatever you see here, the same fields you'll see here. So you see sales organization, you see distribution channel, you see division, you see sales office, you see sales group, right? So if you don't want some field, then you could just suppress them. That means you can make them invisible, right? So screen variant controls what fields you could have in the sales doc, because every business don't require all these fields, right? Then what is the purpose having these fields in the sales document? It's just a confusion to the users, right? So what we need to do, we need to give some name here, name of variant, some random name, let's say. And this particular name, we need to assign it to the VOV8. In the VOV8, we need to assign it here so that from the next time, whenever you are creating an order using this document type, system knows how this document should be controlled. So it's not yet done. So once you are done with this, if you say just OK, continue, then system, see, you cannot save this because we are at the program level. As a functional consultant, we cannot save in the customizing request, right? We can only save it in the workbench request. But as a functional consultant, are we allowed to do that? No. So this configuration, you can only save it in package. So what is this package? We'll discuss when it comes to the pricing concept. We have option of saving in the package and local object. So now if I say again, okay, this will take us to the actual sales order screen. You see, we have reached to this screen. So how do we have come this to this screen? Anyone? How we reached this screen? Through SHD0, not through VS01. Okay, through SHD0, we reached this screen. And now if I again press enter, you see here, there are many tabs. Let's say in my business, there is no CMIR. There is no CMIR at all in business. If there is no CMIR, then what is the purpose of ordering party? Or else you see here, there are lots of fields, tons of fields in the sales order. Why we should have this many fields? If my business does not have payment, we don't accept card. then why should we have this expiry date and all other stuff, right? So once we are in the screen, if I press enter, it will again take us to the technical. And here you could see what all the tabs you have: sales, item overview, item detail, sales, item overview, item detail, ordering party, procurement, shipping, reason. So it shows every tab here. So you could suppress or make it invisible and control the fields in the tab. So basically variant control. So here we can give a name again and save it in a package, and that particular variant name we can assign it here. So when you assign the variant name here, that means you are telling system, whenever you create order with this particular order type and a variant is assigned, system knows what fields to be there, what fields not to be there, everything system knows. Right. So the next is delivery type. If this is the order type OR, then with what delivery type you process this particular order. Okay. With what delivery type you process the order. LF. Standard is LF. So there is a chart already available, right? With all this, you can take a printout of this particular chart where we have everything in the screen. You see this? VOV8, right? Then what is the delivery type? If this is the document type, then what is the delivery type? What is the billing type? So everything we have it here in the screen. So you see order is processed with delivery type LF, cash sales BV, returns LR. So with what delivery type you process the sales document, that is controlled by this field here, which we put it in the delivery type. You see OR, it is LF, right? If it is cash sales, then it is
BV.
BV. And we discussed, right, cash sales have a special feature. What is the special feature for cash sales?
No delivery, sir.
Automatic delivery. Automatic delivery in the back end, right? So whenever you create a cash sales order, system will automatically creates a delivery in the back end. How it is possible? That is through shipping condition 10 immediate and immediate delivery X. So what is immediate delivery X? Create a delivery immediately. So this is applicable only for cash sales. Okay, this is applicable only for cash sales. Whenever we create a sales order, cash sales order, system automatically triggers a delivery in the backend. Where is the control? This is the control. All right. So we are telling system, if this is the order type, then this is the delivery type. At the same time, if this is the order type, then delivery type, then what is the billing type? Okay, then what is the billing type? So that we assign it here. Okay, same image what I showed earlier, it has everything. So what is the billing type? If it is standard order, the standard order type billing type is F2. F2, right? So every process has its own. For credit memo, you remember I showed you a billing block 08. Anyone you remember? When you're creating a credit memo, 08, there is a billing block. How does system know that if you're creating a credit memo, by default system should put a block? You see this billing block 08 credit memo. So if you're creating a credit memo, then system knows to stop that particular for further processing with this particular billing block. And if credit memo is order related billing, right? That's what we discussed. And so you see, it's mentioned in order related billing. We have delivery related billing and order related billing. The standard is always delivery related billing, but you can also have order related billing. So this is billing type. That means it will tell how we create an order for that particular, what is the billing type, so that we mention here. The next is billing plan type. Yeah, nowadays this is getting important in interviews also. They're asking this question, what is a billing type? So billing plan types is, we have two kinds of billing plans. One is milestone billing and one is periodic billing. Milestone billing and periodic billing. SAP projects are milestone billing. That means certain action has to be completed, then only you can create a billing. That means billing is not done in one go, phase by phase. Let's say you take a SAP. SAP is a phase wise, right? As a, let's say 5 phases. So every phase there will be some amount release. If you are commissioning a plant, it may take some 8 months to 1 year to commission a plant. So as we proceed, it will be the billing will be proposed. So there are two kinds of billing plans. One is milestone billing and periodic billing. Milestone billing means some activity has to be completed. Periodic billing means which occurs in regular intervals, like rent, lease amount, AMC, every year AMC, right? So periodic billing is, it's a regular billing like EMI. These all things come under the periodic billing. So the configuration and more about this, you could please refer to this document in the document folder. There is a folder called as Capgemini. In this Capgemini, this document, billing plans and down payments. Okay, billing plans and down payments. Please refer to this document to know more about this billing plan types. This can be maintained at the header level and item level both. So nowadays, this being a frequent question, what are the billing plan types? So this is billing plan type, and yeah, lead time in days. Okay, lead. Where are you see? What is RLT? Anyone? What is RLT? Where we have discussed about RLT? At what concept we discussed RLT?
Material master.
Right, in the Material Master MRP 3 tab, we discussed RLT. RLT means replenishment lead time. What is lead time? Lead time means waiting time, right? So here, lead time in days for requested delivery date. You see this? Requested delivery date and lead time in days. So whenever we create a sales order, whenever we create a sales order, system will automatically propose a delivery date. You see here, system has proposed a delivery date. But you want to add some lead time, because let's say if this order is being created for low priority customers. Okay, if this order is being created for low priority customer, for low priority customer, you don't want to do delivery immediately, so that you need to buy some time so that you can confirm and fulfill the high priority customer orders. So whenever you create an order for low priority customer, you want to add some lead time, extra 5 days time. That means system will do calculation and propose a delivery date, but on top of that, again, you want to add some 5 days so that you get some more time to fulfill the high priority or important orders. So lead time means waiting time. So here this lead time will be added to requested delivery date. Date type, whether the date you want to use in the day format, week format, month format. This is again will reflect in the sales order here. You see, before to the date, you see D, this particular value. the date format, how you want to show the date. Maybe you want to show it in day format, week format, how you want to show. Right. And propose delivery date or propose PO date. If you activate these, system will give today's date as delivery date and today's date as PO date. Okay. If these two are activated, then it will be added as today's date as PO date and today's date as delivery date. Right. So these are the functionalities or features what we have here in the VOV8 at the header level. Right. So apart from one or two fields which we left here discussing, so all the VOV8 has been completed. Then next we'll move on to VOV7. Okay, VOV7, that is item category controls. VOV7 item controls. As we discussed the header, this VOV8, then it is applicable for all the line items in the sales order. It is applicable for header and applicable for all the line items in the sales order. But VOV7 is specific to line item. It is applicable only for that particular line item. If I enter serial number 10 and the material is 100, so all the controls of 100 material is controlled by item category. So what is item category? Item category controls how that particular material should control in the sales order or how that material should be behaved in the sales order. That means whether for that material do you need to have price, schedule lines or not, everything, it is controlled. So there are various item categories. It is very important. You have to memorize all the item categories. There is no exception. If you don't know item category, you don't know the functionality. So you need to know every item category. There are 40 item categories. And let me also tell you one thing. Throughout the SD module, if you have some toughest concept, there are two toughest concepts. One is item category. The first is item category, and the second is pricing. Throughout the SD learning, if you face some hiccup, it will be only at this point, item category and pricing. But is it really tough? Not really. It's pretty easy. But why I'm saying that it is like hardest concept to understand as something, because too much of subject, too many things you have to memorize. You see, item categories itself, you need to memorize 40. Then again controls, then again item category determination, item category groups, item category usages, various scenarios. So that makes the concept a little difficult to understand. If not, this is pretty easy concept, pretty easy concept. But put a little additional effort. You have to put some additional effort on item category, because majority times if someone fails in SD, it is because of item category or it is because of pricing concept. Only at these two concepts people fail, because too much of learning, too many things you have to memorize. So if someone drops out of training as well, that is because of item category. They cannot proceed further with item category because they could not understand item category. They could not memorize this many things. So many people drop the training at this point. So it will not happen with me. So no one drops out of my training at any time. But I see in other trainings or when people come to interviews, we see. So item category is kind of a nightmare concept because of its too many things to memorize. If not, concept is pretty easy. I'm giving an extra question to you. Please spend some additional time. You don't need to memorize all the 40 today itself. At least to 5 a day. At least to 5 a day. Okay. So that in a week you can memorize everything. But you should know everything of item category. Very recently, a person attended interview. They have not asked much questions in Accenture. Maybe 9 questions they asked. The 9th question is an item category and he answered wrong. They rejected him. Okay, they asked the third party item category and he confused actually. He know the answer, but he confused and they rejected. So keep in mind, item category is so important. So in no exception, you need to memorize all these 40 item categories. If you don't know item category, you don't know the features. So what is item category? How it's controlled? That is VOV7. VOV7 controls how an item should behave in the sales document. And the standard item category is TAN. TAN is the standard item category. And if I go to the TAN, there is some controls. The first control here is item type. Item type tells system what kind of material it is or what kind of item it is. Okay. Item type tells system what kind of item it is. That means for TAN, this item type is blank, right? For TAN, item type is blank. That means blank tells system it is a standard item. Standard item means it has price, it has schedule lines, and this material is deliverable. Everything it is applicable. That's a standard item which you sell to the customer and you charge for it. Okay, you sell and you charge for it. Then we have an item called as text tier TX, item category tier TX. Item category tier TX, you see item type is B. Tier TX means text item. You buy a laptop or you buy a TV, you buy a fridge, you buy a car, or you buy a property, you go to a real estate office, you get a brochure. Do they sell it? Do they sell a user manual? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, right? It is not sold. It comes along with the item. So you open, let's say you buy a TV and you open the box. The user manual will be within it, right? Or you buy a mobile phone, you open it, you will see user manual in it, right? We don't sell it to the customer, but we give it to the customer. That is text item. Do they charge for a user manual? Anyone?
No, sir.
No.
No,
Yes,
right?
sir.
But at the same time, is it free for business? If the TV
No.
company
No.
is giving a user manual, is it free for them?
No.
No,
No.
No, right? It
no.
has incurred some cost, right? It has incurred some cost for printing and all the things, right? So user manual is not free for business. It is also an item for which they need to maintain inventory. Because if you are selling 100 TVs means you need to have 100 user manuals, right? With every product, you need to give a user manual. So definitely you need to maintain stock or inventory for this text item as well because it's not free for business. This is any item like this which you give along with the product is called as a text item. Then tier W. You see, I told you, right? You don't know the item category, you don't know the functionalities. Every item category you have to memorize. Tier W is a value item. Value item. See, most of you might be using credit cards. When your spendings are good or when your payments are good, your bank will be giving you some movie tickets or shopping coupons, right? Anyone? Banks will be offering some movie tickets or shopping coupons, right? Are they selling those to you?
No, free of
No.
cost.
As a good gesture, they give, right? Because your payments are good, your spendings are good. As a good gesture, they are giving. Are they bank products? That
No.
is what bank do. They sell movie tickets.
No. No.
No, right? Bank products are different. Bank products are loans, insurance. These are bank products. But as a good gesture, they give some movie tickets or shopping coupons or dinner passes. That is value item. That means it has some value, but we don't sell it to customer. Let's say if the bank is giving you $100 shopping coupon, it has a value, right, of $100, but they don't sell it to you. As a good gesture, they give it to you. So value item is, it has some value, but we don't sell it to the customer. We give it to the customer, right? So that's a value item. How system know that this is a value item? Item type A. Item type A tells that to the system. Let's say you buy some product. Maybe you buy a TV, you buy a fridge, or you buy a mobile phone, maybe iPhone. Comes with a neat packing, right? What do you do with that packing after once you unbox it? What do you do with that packing material?
Will throw it.
We
You
don't
will
need
throw.
it, right? Yeah, it's a trash. We don't need it. But is that packing item free for business?
No.
No.
So for a customer, it is no value, right? We just throw away. But for business, that cartons or the bubble wraps or shrink wraps, they're not free for the business, right? So packing material is also an item for the business. Okay, if you are manufacturing 100 TV, you need to have 100 cartons to pack it, right? And then you need to wrap it. So packing material is also an item. External packing material, that is also an item which we need to maintain inventory. Okay, so how system knows what kind of material it is? That is through this particular field called as item type. The next, business item. Business item. In customer master, sales area data, how many tabs we have?
8.
Customer master sales area data.
8, sir.
Can you name them? Can you please name them?
Four.
It's 4, right? Pretty basic question. In customer master sales area data, how many questions we have? How many tabs we have? Pretty basic question.
Four
Sales,
tabs.
shipping, billing, and partners. 4. Sales, shipping, and billing, right? So just leave that partners tab. Sales, shipping, and billing. So whatever the data we have in that particular sales, shipping, billing, that data in a sales order will be stored in a table called as VBKD. Actually, that data is called as business data. Okay. If you observe here, you see this, what it says? Business data. Okay. Business item. So whatever the data we have in customer master sales, shipping, billing, all the data in that fields is called as business data. And in the sales order, these data will be stored in a table called as VBKD, sales document business data. But what fields you have? The same fields what we see in customer master first 3 tabs. You see price group, customer group, sales district, price, Incoterms, invoicing dates, account assignment group of customer. So all these fields are from customer fiscal year variant. So these all are from customer master sales, shipping, and billing. If there is a data in customer master, where it will come in the sales order, header or item?
Header.
Header. But if you wish to call that data at the item level as well, then activate it. By default, anyway, this will be active. Business data allowed at item level or not. If you want to allow to differ from the business data in header, then activate it. If you want to differ the header data and you want to determine at the item, then activate this. Okay, so that is business data. So it is very important for the item categories. You should know for which it is applicable and for which it is not applicable. Okay, you should know. It's very important when it comes to this particular item category controls. It is not only for which it is applicable, you should also know for which it is not applicable. So completion rule. You see tan, it is blank. Okay, for tan, it is blank. But if I go for inquiry, let's say, or a quotation, sorry, quotation, completion, AGN, I typed this, AGN. You see, if I go AGN, B, AGN means quotation, B. If I go for AFN, it is inquiry. What is completion rule? Completion rule tells system when this item will be completed. Okay, when this item will be completed. That means, let's say I created an inquiry for 100 quantity. Okay, I created inquiry with 100 quantity, and with referring to this inquiry, I created a quotation for 50 quantity. Inquiry 100 quantity, referring to that inquiry, created a quotation for 50 quantity. Can I create one more quotation with reference to this inquiry? Do we have quantity in inquiry? Anyone?
Yes, yes.
Another 50 quantity is available, right, in inquiry. We referred only 50 first.
Yeah.
So can I create one more quotation with that inquiry?
Not required.
Will system allow or not? So
Not allowed.
system will not allow because
Not allowed.
system will not allow because the completion rule for inquiry is first reference. Doesn't matter whether you refer 1 quantity, 10 quantity, or 100 quantity. With the first reference, the document is freezed. Let's say first you referred only 50 quantity, even though still another 50 is existing, system will not allow. System will freeze it. Because the completion rule for inquiry is A. A means first reference. You see, item is completed with first reference. If you refer whatever the quantity, 10 quantity, 1 quantity, it is done. Okay. Then quotation, AGN, it is B. Let's say I created a quotation for 100 quantity. And with reference to that quotation, I am creating an order for 50 quantity. Can I create one more order? Yes. Okay, we can create. Why? Because the completion rule for quotation is all the quantity has to be referred, full quantity to be referred. When this item will be completed? When full quantity has been referred. See, first I referred only 50, but still 50 is pending, right? So even all the quantity has to be referred, then only a quotation item is completed. Likewise, target, contract, full target value has to be referred. Value contract, full target value has to be referred. Then only that item will be completed. Right. So when an item will be completed in a document, that is controlled by completion rule. But if I go to TAN, sales order, it is blank. I told you, right? When it comes to item category, you should know it is not only for what it is applicable, you should also know for what it is not applicable. Both you need to know. For which it is applicable, for which it is not applicable. They can also ask you a question, why it is not applicable for TAN? When completion rule is applicable for inquiry, quotation, and contracts, why it is not applicable for TAN? Why it is blank? The reason is inquiry, what it is it a sales document or a delivery document or a billing document?
Sales document just.
right? Quotation,
Quotation is also a sales document.
contracts,
Contracts, it's related to
Also
billing,
sales,
sales and
sales.
billing.
Contract is also a
sales
sales
document.
document,
Sales document.
right? So we create a quotation with reference to inquiry. Both are sales documents. We create an order with reference to quotation.
Right.
Both are sales orders. We create a sales order with reference to contract. Both are sales order. We create delivery with reference to sales document. What comes after sales document?
Invoice.
Delivery,
No. What comes after sales document?
sales order.
Delivery. After order, delivery, right? So completion rule is applicable only between sales document to sales document. Inquiry is a sales document, quotation is a sales document, order is a sales document, but after order, it's a delivery document. So that is the reason it is not applicable, because completion rule is applicable only between sales document to sales document, right? So we'll stop it here today, continue tomorrow, and we'll finish this item category. It will not take much time. In one session tomorrow, we'll finish this. Any question? Please go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is the difference between transaction variant and screen variant, sir?
So transaction variant controls with which T code you could access that particular document. Screen variant, you can control what all fields should be there in that particular thing. In the transaction variant, you can assign a new transaction to the new T code to the transaction. Okay.
Okay, sir. And
Yeah.
is it possible to add the field in screen, sir? In a new field, we can able to add in the screen through screen variant.
Through screen variant, we can only control the fields. We cannot add a new field.
Okay. How
Only
can
control
we,
like
sir?
this.
How can we add the field
Through
if
SMOD,
any class? Okay.
sales and distribution SMOD.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So we'll call it a day today, catch up tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll finish off this item category. But
Hello.
please put some additional time for item categories. If you cannot understand or if you cannot finish item categories now, you cannot proceed further. It is a hurdle, you have to cross it.
Praveen,
Okay. Yeah, good.
please share the yesterday's class because I missed the class yesterday.
Sure, I'll upload it both
Okay.
today and yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So good everyone, catch it. Yeah, please go ahead.
How can we practice sales document types and item category types in system?
You could just create it, just follow the study material. Actually, you'll face some errors. The solutions are also there in the study material. You follow that and you could practice it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the best way to practice is the way we are learning. Every field we are checking at the sales order level, right? That is how you practice it so that you'll be knowing every functionality of the fields. Okay. Yeah. Good day, everyone. Bye-bye.